Guys, thanks for joining me. Today we are going to do hearts again. I had a video a while ago where I did just basic, I think it had 2, maybe 3 rows to make a little heart, and I was going to make those into pocket hugs, but and I don't have one here to show you guys. Every time I tried to figure out how to make it look right according to me, it wouldn't. So I was kind of scrolling through my emails because I get crochet emails constantly throughout the day, and I found this pattern that is actually it's like a potted flower, but instead of a flower it has a little heart at the top. And so I'll link the pattern for the whole thing in the description, but all I'm using is the heart part here. And so I thought I'd try it. Well, it kind of works. You're supposed to stuff them with like polyfill, I think that's what it's called. I didn't do it for this one. 1, because it turned out too big, and 2, honestly, I kind of like how it felt anyways. These I'm going to stuff, which is why I didn't close it off. I'm going to stuff some in after I'm done with this demonstration. But I thought these worked better as a pocket hug because it isn't, it's like a smooth heart. It's a smooth transition. With the simple hearts that I was doing 2 pieces and then like sewing it together, and it just never turned out right. I didn't like it, so I stopped doing it. Now, these are all different sizes. I kind of wanted to test how the yarn size and the hook size changed, because the pattern, I do believe, calls for a 2.5. That's a 3. Where's my 2.5? Oh, I'm hooked. Okay, so it calls for a 2.5, which is very small. The first yarn, this pink here, that I grabbed is pretty thick. So obviously I had to go for a bigger size in order to fit comfortably. So I grabbed a 4. So this one is this size with a 4. And then I found 3 more yarns of varying sizes. Now this, I figured this was the bigger, medium, and the smaller of the 3, but it turned out that these 2 turned out the same size anyways, which the only thing I can think is it's because this is more acrylic and this is, it might be acrylic, I'm not sure, but it's very stiff. It's a glow-in-the-dark yarn, so it's very compact and stiff. When you're just looking at it side by side, to me anyways, the purple looks a little thicker, but it also smushes easier. I don't know if that's how to explain it. Whenever I crochet tight. This can smush into a thinner strand. This, there was no smushing. there was no give whatsoever. It is what it is. So this one was this size yarn with a 3. And then this one was this size yarn with a, that's not right. Sorry, I got my hooks all mixed up. This was a 3.5 and this was a 3. So even though they look like they're different sizes and I used a slightly different size hook, they turned out to be the same. Like it's the same size. The smaller one, super thin. Here, let me get the other sizes here so you can see. You can see that's about half the size. A super thin yarn, and I used the actual 2.5 size that it calls for, and it turned out to be this size. Now this is about the size of the hearts that I was making before. I think this is a perfect pocket size, maybe slightly bigger, but these sizes I think are too big. What I'm probably going to do is I'll stuff these and then make the potted flower with the heart instead of the flower. I'll make the potted heart as like an extra little thing. I wish I had the picture, but the page that I printed off is not with me at the moment. But the pattern gives the pot, the leaves, the heart, the soil, and the stem. It gives directions for everything. I was just using the heart to make the pocket heart, or pocket hug. So, since this one is very small, very tight and close, I think it'll be difficult to show you how to do it in a video. So I'm going to use a thicker yarn. This one is, I'm going to use this red color. It is, where's my end here? I think it's just a smidge thicker than the pink. So this one's going to be bigger than this first pink one that I made. I kind of also wanted to see just how small I could get it. I think I have that, it's super thin. It's thinner than this. I don't know that it's considered yarn. I think it's actually in the thread family, I guess you'd say. But it comes on big spools, and I do believe people crochet with it. I think I have some that size. That I'd probably have to use a 2, size 2. I don't think I have any sizes smaller than a 2 in my hook collection. See, that'd be like super, super tiny. Kind of like the size that you would make doilies from. That thin. So I think I could probably make it smaller than this, but this seems like a good size. Something that can fit in your pocket or your purse, not take up a whole lot of space, but still give you something to squeeze onto, you know what I mean? So, and if I'm sniffing too much, I'm sorry. I hate that noise too, but I'm in my sunroom. It has gotten warmer. It's 50 degrees outside, so yay for spring. So let's see what we got here. I'm going to try and get this stuff out of my way. This, you can get this size at Dollar Tree, $1.25. They have all different kinds. I've seen the acrylic. They have the fuzzy kind. I still haven't figured out how to crochet fuzzy yarn. I think if I loosened up my stitches, it'd be easier, but I haven't figured that out either. So $1.25 for this. This, I think, came in a pack of 6 from Temu. It was bought for me, but I'm pretty sure I've seen it, and it's like, I don't know, $10 maybe? Maybe. That's pushing it. That seems high for Temu. But they have different colors for the glow-in-the-dark. And then the bigger cakes, because I made this cake, it either came from a thrift store find, or this one probably came from a thrift store find. The pink most likely came from a Walmart skein, because I made my grandma a basket, and she's a pink kind of girl. So let's get this stuff out of the way. Again, I'm not a professional. I'm learning as I go, which is why I wanted to do the different sizes, just to see how different the yarn type and the hook will make it. And I was actually surprised about the glow-in-the-dark compared to the purple, and that they were exactly the same size, even though the yarns looked slightly different in size, and I used a different size hook. So that was me learning something, so go me. I'm going to put these back. The kit here, you can get a kit pretty much anywhere. It does not come with these two pieces. These two I added. One, I've lost the scissors that came with it, or the cutters. And two, I use these for other projects. I try and keep everything together. Okay, so I did the 4. That was that big pink heart. This is a thicker yarn. I usually, the 4.5 is my go-to for most things. That seems like it'd be okay, but I kind of want to try it bigger. I think that looks good. So this is a size 5. My numbers are all rubbed off. It's a 5mm, and then this is a pretty thick yarn. I think this is still considered medium, but the medium can range pretty wide as far as the thickness. You will need a needle, and since I know this is going to be pretty, I want to make it not too difficult to thread it, so I'm going to use this size needle. The kit does come with needles, but it doesn't come with all of these needles. I acquired a bunch of sewing kits from my grandma's house, actually both my grandma's houses, and I actually have 2 containers of this, one in this kit, and then I have another kit in the house. I have so many crochet and knitting needles, it's ridiculous. If I knew how to knit, that'd be awesome, but that hasn't happened yet. Okay, this pattern is pretty easy. It only has basically 7 rows. So I think I made one just a little bit ago. The little tiny one. I made that just a little bit ago. I didn't time it, but it didn't take me very long. I also stopped a couple times because, you know, I wasn't in a hurry to do anything. So we're going to make a magic ring. I kind of just wrap it around like that. And then take it, twist it, and then pull it through. Now oops. And then I usually hold it here. I do an extra chain just so that it's a clean circle. It doesn't have like a dip. You don't have to do that. You also don't have to do a magic ring. The magic ring to me looks cleaner and is easier to function as opposed to doing the chain 2 and then working in the first chain. But again, that's just me. Whatever works for you is fine. So we're going to do 6 singles. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay. Pull that tight. And then kind of push it around. Guess I could zoom in a little. Just try not to go out of frame. Okay, so we're going to go back into that first chain. Okay, and we're going to pull it through. So it's a slip stitch, and then chain 1. And then we're going to do double crochets all the way around. Or, I guess it's not double, it's an increase all the way around. Increase single crochets all the way around. So you should have 12 by the time you're done. Three, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Okay, I'm going to pull that center a little tighter. Okay, so we did increases all the way around. Now we're going to just do 12 singles all the way around. So we're going to do the slip stitch in that first chain, chain 1, and 1, 2, 3, 4, oops, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Okay, I'm going to go now, since it is singles all the way around, is going to start doming, which is fine. This is the first the first hump of the heart. So you're going to go into that first chain. Now I don't care how you're going to basically finish it. You're going to fasten it off. Some people get all fancy and use the needle and go through and make it look like an extra chain. However you fasten it off. I always do a slip stitch and then a chain and pull it tight. That's how I fasten it off. Where did I put my scissors? There they are. I'm going to fasten it off. Cut it. Okay, so that's the first hump, the first part of the heart. Set that off to the side, and then you're going to do the same exact thing again. So you're going to do the magic ring. This isn't pulling like it's supposed to. Okay. Magic ring. And again, I stitch tight, so if you stitch like you're supposed to, the heart might end up bigger than mine, so take that into account. But yeah, okay. So you do a slip stitch and then you do chain 1. I do that. If you just want to do the slip stitch and then go around, that's perfectly fine. The reason I do it is because I want to make sure it's like a smooth circle. Whenever you have, anytime I've done it and I didn't do that extra chain, it has like a like an indentation almost, because you started here and had to move up. If you start here, go up one with a chain and go around, that's more of an even circle. In my mind anyways. That's might be my OCD. I don't know. Haven't figured that out yet. But that's how I do it. So slip stitch to create the circle, and then a chain 1, and then 6 singles. Oops. Okay, pull it tight, kind of work it around there. Okay, now move it off to the side. I'm going to slip stitch into that first one, chain 1, and then we're going to increase all the way around, increase singles. So 1, 2, oops, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Okay, then we're going to do singles all the way around. Again, because we're doing the same number, it's going to dome it a little, which is what we want. Okay, I'm going to slip stitch, chain 1, and I don't know that it, yeah, it didn't actually, in the pattern, I do this anytime I have to do rounds. I always do the slip stitch and chain 1, or chain 2 if it's double, chain 3 if it's treble, just because I want it to be that clean circle. I'm not, I know I've read it, it's like it's like connecting the circle or something. I can't for the life of me remember. But the pattern doesn't actually tell you to do the slip stitch chain 1. I just do that automatically because I want my circles to be actual circles. I don't want it to be a spiral. If you follow the pattern, it'll end up as a spiral instead of each individual circles. Again, to each your own. If you don't want to do what I'm doing, that's fine. I'm not even sure if I'm explaining it right. Where's the pen? Give you a marker. Okay, so let me, sorry guys, I'm going off on tangent again. So when you follow this pattern as it is, you're going to end up making the spiral, because you're just going off of, you have to keep your count and you have to make sure you don't lose any stitches, and you're just going to keep going in a spiral. When you add the slip stitch and the chain, what you're doing is you're going around, up 1, I'm shaking now, around, I can't, I'm shaking now. Oh my god, Jackie. Okay, I'm going to go around, then up 1, around, up 1, around, up 1. So what's happening is you're going to have full, you won't actually, you don't really see the scar there, depending on how tight or how loose you do it. You don't really see the scar there. What happens is you're moving up to where you want the stitches to be, so this turns into a full circle instead of a spiral. I think I did a whole video on that, working in the round. That's why I do the slip stitch chain 1. The pattern doesn't actually ask for that, but that's just me doing it out of habit. I do that for all of my working in the rounds. That's just my personal preference. Okay, back to the video. Okay, so we're going to do 12 singles. Make sure I'm in the frame. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Okay, now we're going to go ahead and do the slip stitch, chain 1. Now we're going to connect these two. So we're going to do 6 single crochets. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And then we're going to take this half. I start where my fasten off is. I don't think it matters where you start. That's just where I start. Mainly because I want this knot to be in the center of the heart, kind of hidden. If you have it out to the side, you might see it. I don't know. I just, in my mind, it makes sense there. But I don't think that really matters. So you're gonna take this and what am I doing here? Put it through that stitch, essentially stitching them together. So there's one. So you're going to do 12 around, which is the total number of stitches here. So there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Then you're going to find, so that's where the last stitch was, so you're going to go into the next stitch and then finish that side, so it'll be another 6 singles. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay. I'm going to go into that first stitch, single or slip stitch, single crochet. Now, I'm going to pause this for a second because I didn't bring any fiber fill and I kind of want to show you how to do it properly, not just how I've been doing it. Hold on just a second. Alrighty, I got the fiber fill. Well, I don't think it's actually fiber fill. I think I killed a pillow, but that's fine. Okay, so this is where we need the needle. Well, one of the 2 spots we need a needle. Let me get my holder. Okay, so you can see here, there's a little hole there. So what you're going to do is you're going to take this string here, which I don't know how it ended up on that side, but it did. The string from the first side, there's a little tail. So I'm going to take that. And we're going to kind of sew it together. It doesn't take much. It's like the tiniest gap. But you just don't want stuff falling through. Which I don't even think that would happen, but it's fine. We're going to sew that together. Okay. So that's sewn. And then it doesn't say to do this, but I get paranoid with the magic rings. I've never had a magic ring unravel, okay? Even before I started doing this, I've never had one unravel. But I started thinking, you know, after so long, the yarn stretches or gets loose or whatever. So I'm lightly tying the tails together. Just so that there's something holding it, you know what I mean? Nothing crazy. Nothing, I'm not like, there's still enough tail in there so that it doesn't pull. You don't want to tie them so tight that they smush together. Okay. Now, what I usually do is just shove them in the little pockets. If you want to cut them off, that's fine. I just figure I'm stuffing them anyways. Might as well use the scrap for something. Okay. So next we're going to go around the whole thing. So you should have 24 stitches. One, two, three, four. That's my neighbor's dog, not mine. I just want to make that known. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, come on, 21, 22, 23, 24. Now, if you get to the end and you're like, I'm missing a stitch, because sometimes getting here in that point there, you can miss. Okay, they're kind of smaller than the other stitches, so you might think, oh, that's not a stitch, that's just what I sewed or whatever. If you're missing a stitch, just do an increase to make sure you have enough stitches. If you somehow have more stitches than you should have, do a decrease. It's an easy fix. Don't feel like you have to undo the whole thing. Unless you have an OCD problem, then by all means frog away. But it's an easy fix. You don't have to unravel the whole thing. Okay, so we did 24 all the way around. Now we're going to do a single, well, let's go ahead and do the slip stitch and chain 1. We're going to do a single crochet. We're going to do, it's called an invisible decrease. Now, there's 2 ways that I know how to do a decrease. The first way is you pull through here, the first loop, you pull through the second one, so you'll have 3 loops on here, and then you go all the way through. You pull this all the way through. So that's a decrease. Or another one is you just do the front loop. And you pull through, front loop, you pull through, and then you pull all of them together. In my experience, when you just do the front loop, then it shows it more that there was a decrease. But that I think either way works just fine. I just prefer the through the both parts of the chain. So there's 1. Okay, and then we're going to do 2 singles and a decrease all the way around. 1, 2, decrease. I really think it's a preference as far as how you do the decrease. 2, decrease. 1, oops. 2, oops. Pay attention, Jackie. I just did a decrease. So 1, 2, decrease. 1, 2, decrease. 1. Oh, okay, so I'm at the end. So you just do one single at the end of the row. I think it says you repeat that 6 times. Yeah, so you do single crochet, decrease, and then you do 2 single crochet, decrease 5 times, and then you end with a single crochet. Okay, now we're just going to go single crochet all the way around, so you should have 18 stitches. I'll do the slip stitch, single crochet, 1, 2, yarn's not where it's supposed to be, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18. Okay, do the slip stitch, chain 1, and this is where it says to start filling. So I'm going to grab some of my fill. I don't know if I'm going to be able, I've been practicing without the fill, so if I'm awkward because there's stuff inside, that's why. I'm going to go ahead and take my hook out. Stuff in it. Obviously to your liking. If you want it more firm, then add more stuffing. If you want it more floppy, then less stuffing. Or no stuffing. Whatever floats your boat, man. Okay. So now we're going to do single crochet, decrease all the way around. You're going to be doing that 6 times. So, see, and I don't like stuffing while I'm crocheting, just because then the stuffing gets in with the yarn. I'm hoping that doesn't happen here, but that seems to always happen when I do that. 1, decrease. I'll just try and pull the stuffing away from the chains. 1, decrease. 1, decrease. 'See, got stuffing there. 1, decrease. 1, decrease. That's funny. 1, decrease. Okay. I'm going to go all the way around. You should have 12. Yeah. I hate dealing with stuffing. I don't make too many things that I have to stuff. That's a lie. I make a lot of amigurumi, but I always wait until the last minute and then stuff. I don't like stuff as I go. Okay. So So we should have 12. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Okay, now we're going to decrease all the way around. Maybe. Go in the first stitch, slip stitch, chain 1, we're decreasing all the way around. Right? Am I doing that right? 12, yep. Decrease all the way around. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and do my slip stitch. Just a slip stitch. Oops. I lost it. Let's do that again. Slip stitch. Take that out. Put in my little marker. Okay. I want to make sure it's to my liking. Now if, again, I like to wait till the last minute. As long as I can, I don't want to say what I feel like I need to say because it doesn't sound right. As long as I can get the stuffing in there, it's fine. If the hole is smaller, you can always use the back end of your hook. I think that's good. Okay, now you're going to cut a length. You probably only need like 4 inches. I'm going to cut a little extra. You probably don't even need the 4 inches, but that's what I'm going to go with. Okay, you're going to pull that through, feed it through the needle, and this is to just make the pocket heart. If you're following the directions, you wouldn't actually close it off, because I think you have to attach the leaf and the stem. So you're not actually going to pull it closed if you're doing the pattern. For this purpose, for the purpose of this video, and because I'm making pocket hearts, I am going to close it. It says just to pull through the front part of the chain. Honestly, it doesn't really matter because I'm closing it off. So I'm going to basically loop through. I'm going to go through the front, out the back on all the stitches. You should have 6 stitches. Trying really hard not to get the fill, but you know, that's just the way it goes. Okay, and then pull tight. Okay, now you can do another lap around, or connect the 2 sides, whatever works for what you're using it for. So what I'm going to do, okay, I pulled the 2 sides together and went all the way across. I'm going to find a spot to make a knot. However you like to make your knots. There's a variety of ways. Pull it tight. Okay, and then pull it through. pull it tight so it actually bends. I pull it tight and then cut it, and then that way when you stretch it to where it needs to go, the thread goes away. So let me zoom out here. That's a pretty big pocket heart. You can kind of see the scar there from where I did the slip stitch chain 1, but there's also, I like seeing the rows. So if you don't care about that, do just working around regular. You don't have to add the slip stitch chain 1. I just like it. It's a nice little pillow. I like it. I mean, I guess this could be a pocket heart, just more like a purse heart. It's pretty big. I guess if you used, you could probably line this with like cloth and fill it with like foam. Be a stress ball. That would work. But yeah, so I'm going to be making smaller ones of these, this size for pocket hugs, and then I'll probably stuff the bigger ones to make the potted hearts. I feel like I can still use this even though I closed it off, because I think you, let me see. Stem. Yeah, there's wire. You use wire for the stem. Probably use a pipe cleaner. You could use a pipe cleaner. I don't think it calls for a pipe cleaner. Yeah. I don't know. I haven't actually done the whole pattern. But this, I've upgraded my hearts to this. I mean, the other ones serve a purpose. Like if you want to attach it to something, like have a more flat heart than those simple hearts that I made in one of my first videos, that works. It just was bothering me that it didn't look right. Something was off about it. This looks like a heart. So that's where we're at, and hope you enjoyed it. If you have any comments, questions, concerns, drop me a little message. But I'm not sure what to say anymore because it's not hot out, but it's not really cold. I think it feels comfortable. I'm sure some of you down south are like, 50 degrees, that's freezing. No, I could probably hang out outside if I wanted to. So, stay safe, stay healthy, and I will see you next time.